So I'm going to talk to you about Project Management Bootcamp. And the reason I'm talking to you about this is because, I'm going to move this. It's because I've taken this course. But I took it in a 2-day format. It was called Project Management Essentials, but this one's Project Management Bootcamp, which is 3 days in length. The instructor, Will Fong, who teaches this course, he works out of Calgary and he travels all over the place doing project management courses with corporations, with educational institutions such as ours. And so he wasn't available to do this, but we're going to get in contact with him and we're going to get him to make a little video too to explain this course. So what I'm doing is I'm going to give it to you in a perspective as a learner, not as an instructor. And this course is actually 3 days in length, and it's quite an intense course. It starts at 8 in the morning and it finishes at 5. So, and it really begins at 8 o'clock and it really begins at 5. There's a couple of breaks and then you have your lunch. And you're busy and on top of it the whole time. There's lots of group work. Actually, most of it is group work. And it's a theory-based course. So the theory, you're not doing the software, but you're doing most of it. It is the theory. And so the intention is you take that theory and you are able to put it into software. So you do have to have an understanding of Excel and Word if you're going to be doing these types of positions. There is project management software out there. I know that there's a MS Project. It's quite a comprehensive software. Some say it's obnoxious. But if you learn how to use it, it can be quite a powerful tool. So what happens in this program is you are being introduced to think like a project manager. And being a project manager is really a lot going on. So you're a communicator, you're a report writer, you're a person who manages the budget, you're a scheduler. You put out lots of fires and you are trying to ensure that the project starts off really well and it ends with a success. And that's what a project is. It has a start and it has an end date. So basically in this course you're working on the planning framework. You're starting it from the beginning, the Genesis phase. You go through the design phase. You do the implementation of the planning phase. You work on dependency charts. You work on Gantt charts and scheduling. You're making up network diagrams. You're trying to figure out what the critical path is. You're working on resource allocation, which is where, okay, I need this material for these workers. How do I get it? Where does it come from? How do I balance it so we don't run out? You have a team, you do project costing, so that means that you're working on budgets, and you have to make your budget balance, and if it doesn't, and you're responsible for it, for as a project manager, you have to explain, okay, I'm using more money than we have. You have to go back to your sponsor and you have to figure out, okay, where can I get more money, more funding for this project? So you talk about those sort of things. You also work on teamwork in project managing. Project managing is all about having a team. So that's where you also have to have your human relations expertise as well. So customer management comes into it. The accounting comes into it. Because you're doing all those sorts of things. So you're like a juggler as well. So with project managing, you have to be comfortable working in a high pressure situation because everybody's looking at you. If there's a problem, they look at you. If things are going great, your team's really happy. They look at the whole team. So you got to keep that in mind when you're choosing this option, that you got to be able to handle the pressure. Okay. Another thing that they talk about in this program is implementation phase. So you've done all your setup. You got everything ready. Now you actually have to put it into practice. So they talk about that as well. And you're also doing some presentations in this course as well. because what he does is he sets up a mock project and you work on it together as a team, and then at the end you have to present it. So that's another thing that you have to be comfortable with is presentations, because that's one thing that you also do in project managing, because you have to sell to your sponsor why it's worth it to do this project, why you need that more funding, why you need that extension on your project. And also if you're doing media relations and you're talking to the community about why this project was a success or why it's taking longer, you have to be able to go out there and talk to the community and the media and the press and say, okay, some projects are smaller, some are bigger. And depending on where you work, whether you're doing it nonprofit, whether you're doing it private sector, or whether it's your own business, it can apply to that as well. Project management is quite flexible in what you can apply it to. Deanne and I, we use project management skills every day, being coordinators, but we also use the customer management as well. We do that a lot in our type of work. And so both of those streams are very helpful. I don't handle the budget, and that's where I think it would be good for me to take something like John's course. So that's what project management's about. But so if you do take this one, prepare to work really hard, and you can't miss any time in the course. Okay, so if there's any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. No?
I do have one. So how
Yes.
here in the program,
Yeah.
is it here somewhere? I don't see it.
It's a different stream.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
different.
yeah, it's a different. Is that reflects the one that you've already chosen?
Yeah.
Your preliminary choosing? Yeah, okay.
Benjamin, if you do
It's
want
on-
to change, you can.
Yeah.
Just if you could get me the information tomorrow.
I think it's November 16th to 18th. Does anybody have?
Yes.
I think, Peter, you had looked at project management, didn't you? Did
Pardon
you?
me?
You had looked at project
Yes.
management, didn't you?
Yes.
What's the dates on the
16
screen?
to 18.
Yeah, November 16 to 18 are the dates. Yeah? Okay.
You're so thorough.
Oh, I
Yes.
Thank you.
She's taking project management.
Yeah. I just wanted to cover all the bases. But again, I'm not the instructor, so if you do sign up for this course and something else shows up, don't crucify me. Yeah.
Hold on,
Yes,
Susan.
Peter.
Okay.
Yeah.
In project management,
Yeah.
you were talking about the MS project.
Yes.
Is that a piece of software that is available to?
It's not in this program. It's not in this course. You would have to take a separate course to do that. Continuing Studies does have an
So
MS
that
project
further-
course, but that's something you would have to sign up on your own.
But
So
yes,
that's
the
the further-
software is
Yeah.
available.
It is available,
Okay.
yeah.
So that's to enhance the project management skills course
Yeah.
as well?
Yeah, yeah,
Over and above that?
yeah. But it's not part of the ESA program. If you were going to do it, we do offer it here at Continuing Studies. You have to look up in the calendar when it is, and then you sign up for it on your own. Yeah.
I think Carl has a question too.
Carl,
I was
yes.
wondering who the instructor is.
His name is Will Fong, and he works for MNP. Here's his book right here. He works for MNP. Here's the front page. It's a consultancy. And Myers Norris Penny is what MNP stands for. And he's an exceptional facilitator. He teaches a lot in this program. What I mean is he teaches for continuing studies, and he also teaches in other programs in Royal Roads University. And another thing that this Project Management Bootcamp prepares you for is to challenge the exam for the PMI Institute. That's the Project Management Institute, and it's the CAPM exam. So you could challenge it, but you have to study for and prepare for that exam. It's supposed to be extremely tough. And you can look up on the PMI website, And they'll say that right there, and they can give you example questions of what you would find on the exam as well. But I would recommend contacting the Institute about what the exam entails if you're going to challenge the exam. Yeah, see what you have to do for it. Okay, and another thing is if you are going to get into the project management, it is a very good idea that you already have a bit of a background in it, because it's because he dives right into it. You're not being handheld in this course. He has a lot of material to cover, and it goes quite quickly. Just
I think Susan's description to me was great. It's not for the faint of heart, she said.
yes, it's not for the faint of heart. You have to really want to do it and take the challenge. Okay? All right.
Okay.